Challenges to India's security. What are the challenges that faced by our national security? If we talk about the time from the independence, so there has been certain threats from the China and Pakistan. Right from the time of independence, Pakistan and China have tried to threaten India's national security. There are several disputes between India and Pakistan. For example, the Kashmir issue, disputes over water sharing, the problem of infiltrations, dispute over the border, etc. So these are the problems that we face from our neighboring countries, maybe the China or maybe the Pakistan. So these are the problems: the Kashmir issue, river water sharing issue, even the problem of infiltration. What does it mean by infiltration? Infiltration means you can say the illegal entry done by the people are called as the infiltration. India has continuously tried to solve these issues through discussion and negotiations. Always India try to solve such things or issues with the discussions and negotiation. We always try to solve the problems in a peaceful manner. India and China are important countries in Asia. Yes, if you talk about the technology development, so India and China plays a very important role in Asia. In 1962, we have to go to a war with China, as China is trying to establish its own hegemony over countries that are India's neighbor. What is hegemony? Hegemony means control or the power. We have always seen there is in a kind of border disputes with China. There are tensions in Sino-Indian relations. Sino-Indian means Indo-China. There is also a dispute between India and China over their borders. And these are the problems that create a rift between India and China. Even today we had so many issues or the problems that we face with the China. India's security is not only threatened by outside powers. If we talk about the problems or the dangers, it happens not only with the external aggression or the external attack. Even we had faced so many problems within our nation. There are so many religious conflict or many times the terrorism. India's security is not only threatened by outside powers but also from within. It is not just the difference between external security and internal security, but that is important anymore. Religion, regionalism, several rebellious movement and economic inequality are creating instability. So these are the problems that create instability in our country. For example, the Naxalite movement is a threat to India's internal security. If you remember, we had learned in the third chapter of our history where we had seen the regionalism, socialism and the Naxalism. These are the internal threats to our nation. Even the terrorism also. Terrorism is the biggest challenge to India's internal security. It is a global problem and India is making efforts to end the terrorism. So in this way, these are the few challenges that needs to be faced or that needs to be handled by our security system. Human security. As we all know, human security is the biggest responsibility. If human or the citizens are safe in any country, then that country can be considered as the developed or the safest country. In the post-Cold War period, the concept of national security changed and became broader. So after the Cold War, not only the country's protection is important, even the protection of the citizen of the country is also important. National security is not just the security of the country, but also of the people living in it. Because security is ultimately for the people. Yes, people should also feel secure, not only protecting the borders, but protecting the rights and the demands of the people is also very much important. Hence, human security refers to human-centric thinking. In human security, it is expected that human beings should be protected from all sorts of danger and they should be given the opportunity of education, health and development. If a human being feel themselves secure, then they will look after the education, that they will look after the development or they will always support the governmental function. So for any nation to be a developed nation, security of the human being is the utmost importance. The concept of human security also includes the idea that a conducive environment should be created for everybody to live a respectable life by overcoming illiteracy, poverty, superstition, backwardness, etc. So these are the things which we need to overcome, which we need to keep aside, like illiteracy, poverty. Yes, it's very much important that everyone in the country should be literate and we should have a proper, better standard of living. Superstition, backwardness, etc. Human security necessitates the protection of the rights of minorities and weaker section. Even the human securities are related with the protection of the minorities and the weaker section. Uh, we will learn in the sixth chapter of history about the woman empowerment and the weaker sections. Then we will come to know what kind of problem they face in our society. Now, what are the challenges as we know about the human security? So, what are the challenges that are faced by the human or the citizen? The biggest challenge to human security is that of terrorism. In today's world, in today's time, the most important, or you can say the biggest challenge for the human security is the terrorism. Terrorism targets common innocent people, right? We know during the times of terrorism, if the common people or the people those who are not involved in, they are affected. It aims at creating terror or fear in their minds. So the purpose of creating terrorism is to create the fear in the minds of people or the citizen, so that they begin to feel insecure. This, in order to protect human security, it is necessary to put an end to terrorism. So it is very much important to put an end to the terrorism. Another big challenge are the pollution and other changes in the environmental have threatened the human life, right? New diseases or infections that stopped the people from day to day work, right? Many times we had seen the infectious disease like malaria, tuberculosis, typhoid, even the COVID situation. So these things also endangers the development or the health of the people. Disease like AIDS, chikungunya, swine flu, Ebola, these are the viruses that infects the health of the people, have presented a big challenge. Protecting human beings from such disease is also considered as a factor of human security. So protecting the citizen from such kind of disease is also involved in the human security. So in this chapter, we have studied India's defense system. We have also tried to understand the change in the concept of security from national security to human security. So in this way, we came to know the responsibility or the function of our defense system, or you can say the protection of our country or the citizens of the country. Understood? Quite interesting chapter. We came to know about the different forces, about the paramilitary, about the function of the paramilitary forces. Please underline each and every function so that it can be helpful for any answers or the blank. Okay, so let's begin with the exercise. First, the dash of India is commander-in-chief of all the defense forces. Who? President. Yes, President of India is the commander of chief. The dash has the responsibility of protecting the coastline, Coast Guard. The dash is established with the purpose of instilling among students a love of discipline and military training. It is the NCC, National Cadet Corps. Next, explain with reason whether the following statements are true or false. First, it is necessary to end terrorism to ensure human security. Yes, it is very much important to end terrorism to secure the people. So this is the right statement. And reason you will find on the page number 75 on the right hand side, the first paragraph, the first point. The biggest challenge to human security is that of terrorism. Terrorism targets common, innocent people. It aims at creating terror or fear in their minds so that they begin to feel insecure. Thus, in order to protect human security, it is necessary to put an end to terrorism. Always write your answer in points. That will give you full marks or more marks, and it is also representation will be in a good way. Every nation creates a strong security system for itself. Yes, it is very much important during the time of war or any crisis situation. It's a right statement. Every nation should be have been updated in front of any country or neighbor. So it is very much important. It's a right statement. There are no issues of dispute between India and Pakistan. No, it's a wrong statement. Yes, we had a dispute between India and Pakistan related to border issue, Kashmir issue, river water sharing. These are the problems we face with the Pakistan. So yes, we have a problem. So this statement is a wrong statement. Write the short notes. The function of the rapid action force. As we all know, the function of the rapid action force is to take a quick action at the time of disaster. Maybe it's a man-made or the natural disaster. Human security. We just now completed the human security. Why human security is important? People should feel secure in any nation that will support the development, education and literacy. Home Guard. We all know the role about the Home Guard. They work as the protection. It was established during the time of pre-independence period, right? So write a note on the Home Guard. Next question is about your opinion, what you feel. So first question is, which of the forces related to India's security would you like to join? Why? So it's your own answer. Which kind of security system will you join, or will why? The reason is why. Why you like? Most of the student will like the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, BSF. It depends upon your choice or your interest. Second, give your review on the policy Atoms for Peace. It is actually a kind of innovative idea, or you can say a step started by the America. So it is a speech given by the American president about the atoms for speech. So you will find this answer in the Google it and get some information about the atoms for peace. Okay. Next is answer the following question in brief. What are the threats to national security? So what are the threats to national security? You will find on the page number 74 and few points on 75. The national threats to our country. Write the functions of the border security force. We all know the function of border security force. They stop illegal trading or the smuggling, the patrolling the borders, right? Give protection to the borders or the border regions. So these are the function of the border security force. Next, do as directed. We need to complete the table, right? So in first column we had given the name of the security force, second the functions, third the chief, and fourth the name of the present chief. We need to give the name of the present chief. Okay. So first, army. What is the function of army? Army's function is to protection of the geographical boundaries. Chief is called as general. And who is the current chief of army? Yes, you can find the answers. The current chief of the army is General Manoj Singh. Okay. Or you can say General Manoj. Name of the security force. Navy. The function of Navy is protection of the coastline of our country. Chief is called as Admiral. And who is the current chief of Navy? He is Admiral Karambir. Next, name of the security force. Air Force. Function, protection of India's airspace. The chief is called as Air Chief Marshal. And who is the current chief of the Air Force? Rakesh Kumar. Okay, so write it down and you will find the answers in the Google also. And moreover, the head of all these three department, or you can say the three defense system. So who is the head chief of the defense system is Bipin Rawat. Chief of defense staff is Bipin Rawat. So you can find these answers. It also works and in the GK, or many times many activities are done on such issues. Okay. Next, you need to give the challenges in front of India's security system. What are the challenges in the front of the India's security system? First, disputes between India and Pakistan. Yes. Second, disputes between India and China. Third, terrorism. Yes. And fourth, you can write internal rebellious movement like Naxalism, terrorism. So these are the challenges that faced by our nation in terms of security. Understood? Please read the chapter, go through the video. If you find any doubt, underline it, mark it so that we can solve it. Okay? Thank you so much.